Some stunning new numbers from the Treasury Department shows just how much money ISIS makes selling oil. One official says that it could be up to $40 million a month. That is around $500 million a year. And the U.S. says Syria's government is one of the biggest buyers. Elizabeth Palmer is in London to look at how oil is changing the war against ISIS. Elizabeth, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's a war that's being fought on many fronts, and one of the top new priorities is strangling ISIS's revenue. And right at the top of the list of financial targets is the oil business.
U.S. and coalition planes have now begun to bomb tankers full of oil sold by ISIS in Syria, part of an effort to cut off an estimated $40 million a month the group makes from petroleum sales. And in the cynical economics of war, some of that oil even goes to President Assad's government, ISIS's sworn enemy. Most of the oil fields in Syria are in ISIS-controlled territory. Once pumped, it's moved by tanker to be sold locally, to buyers in regime-controlled Syria, or smuggled over the border into Iraq and Turkey. The coalition began bombing ISIS refineries last year, and the Russians have now joined in, choosing oil-related bombing targets. That may have made a dent in ISIS's ability to supply oil clean enough to be used, but it didn't stop it. Matthew Phillips is with Bloomberg.
We overestimated, really, the damage that we did, the long-term damage, and underestimated their ability to kind of adapt to that.
Syrian locals simply set up crude refineries, basically cooking the oil in pits in the desert before selling it on to traders who get it to market. Attacks on what are technically ISIS-linked operations like this will inevitably kill innocent civilians who are simply working in it to survive.
And one more thought, while cutting off revenue is going to hurt ISIS, no question it won't bring the group to collapse. Solid numbers are really hard to come by, but the best estimates say that ISIS is making twice as much money on widespread what they call taxes on every person in business living under their control. Charlie?